Welcome to the Guitars, Cowboys, and Hillbilly Music Podcast. You're joined with Red Arnold and Jager Pfeiffer. And this week, we got Mr. Gabe Simpson. How you doing today, Gabe?
I'm doing all right. How are you guys doing?
We're doing good. So you are a former Oklahoma State University football player, correct?
Yeah, I played from 2018 to 2022 was my last season.
2022? If you don't mind, do you mind moving that mic a little bit closer to you?
Yep.
Perfect. So what position did you play? And yeah, we'll just start with there.
Well, I originally came in as a safety, and then freshman year I happened to make the basketball team, and they asked me to move to receiver after that.
Nice. So how did you get involved with the basketball team from the football team?
There was actually a pretty good opportunity. Well, for me, there's a good opportunity, but a few players got into some trouble, so they got removed from the team, and so they had an open tryout. So I went to the open tryout and had a decent showing, so me and a few others made the team. I think they had 4 people make it on that from that tryout.
So what's that? Talk to us a little bit about what that kind of process is like, trying out, like an open tryout versus, some people that just get a scholarship or whatever. Tell us about how, like, that process.
You talking about for the basketball?
Either one, yeah, both actually. Start with basketball.
I had to try out. I was a preferred walk-on because I had the opportunity. I had a full academic through the Gates scholarship for football, so I had to try out. But basketball, it was one day they put posters around campus saying, "Hey, we're having a basketball tryout," whatever the date was, and there was probably over 100 people that showed up.
Wow.
Everyone
And they chose how many?
I think it was 4 or 5.
Oh, wow.
So what did they have you do during the tryout? Did they just have you
The good
do
old
drills or
2-line layups? I think it was just to see if people could jump because that's all anyone tried to do is dunk, and then a little 3-on-3 scrimmage on half court. That was about it.
really?
Yeah.
So just from I guess it's probably coaches, and I'm sure they have some talent evaluation they have they use probably for high school recruiting.
Yeah.
They just saw the ability of everybody and then chose who they wanted out of the top 100, I guess.
I'm sure they were. I mean, you got to find some people who can dribble and shoot clearly, but I'm sure they're trying to find some athletes because our main job was practicing for it. So they had enough to go back and forth with the starters at the time.
So how did it help your case that you were already on the football team to get in there?
It actually did because I didn't hear about it until the night before or the morning of. I can't remember clearly, but you're having to get a physical. You're having to get all the stuff set up to try out. I luckily already had it in the NCAA thing, so I just had to be like, hey, I'm already in football, so they already had all my paperwork.
Yeah.
I get you. So I'm just going to go right into the questions here. So from the first episode, I've always said that one of my main goals was to get Mike Gundy on this podcast.
Mike Gundy on the podcast.
Can you, and you don't have to if you don't want to, but can you tell us a little bit about your experience with Coach Gundy? If what maybe you think of him, and then also if you think it's possible for a podcast like us to have Mike Gundy on. Hard hitters right out of the gate.
So, I'll answer the first one first. I think he's a good dude. He kind of sits back and lets his position coaches do their job, so he's not in our faces much, but he's a good dude. Reached out to me when I had COVID quite a bit and told me to write me a letter of recommendation. So, he's a good dude, good coach. And as far as getting him on the podcast, I bet if you reached out to him and he's open, he would definitely do it. I'm sure he's a pretty busy man, but I'm sure he'd find a way to do it if he could.
I saw something yesterday. I think I saved it on my phone, but it's recording.
Did
you see that?
Yeah, I don't think it's a real quote.
Oh, okay.
There's no way it's a real quote.
Can you try to find it? Because that's just too good.
I saw it on Facebook.
Because we've got everybody that comes on. We mentioned that we want to get Mike on the podcast, and we have there's a lot of mixed reviews about him, And I don't know if anyone that we've talked to really has had any interaction with him. So I was just curious to see what you thought of him. But
yeah, I saw him about probably most every day.
Yeah. Have you been keeping up with what's going on with OSU football and all the transfers and?
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy. I mean, I still talk to most of them, so it's just I'm not sure what's going on with all the people leaving, but it was pretty sudden. I was surprised by that.
Mm-hmm. When we started this season, I think somebody else is trying to get in.
Popular place.
Yeah, Bad Brad's, popular place. I really thought that they had a good opportunity to have like a great season this year, starting those first few games. Maybe it was just the opponents, because I don't know a ton about football.
Yeah.
But just the first few games, I was like, there's some potential here. Did you find it by chance?
I can't find it.
Yeah, I was pretty shocked. So I actually had 2 years of eligibility left, but my degree was over, so my academic scholars up. So I was like, I was going to go ahead and try to pursue med school. But when I saw them start 5-0, I was like, they are going to ball out this year. And then I'm not sure what happened. I mean, I'm not in the conversation of that anymore, but I really thought they were going to have national championship contender in the beginning of this year.
That's what we were saying over here, too. And then everything went downhill after about halftime of the TCU game.
Well, going into double overtime with TCU, who made the playoffs, is so after that I was like, hey, we still got a shot, and then
yeah, it just kind of fell off there at the end, but I
You
think
think-
there's a good chance for a rebuild.
You think so? That's what I was going to ask him, if he
Yeah.
thinks there's,
Yeah,
if they have potential next year, coming off of everything that's happened.
I mean, I haven't kept up with the portal thing, but they said we're one of the most active portals in and out. Like, apparently we had a really good in crowd too, and the people still there. They definitely still got some dogs there, so we'll see.
What about Spencer? Did you talk to Spencer much?
Yeah, I mean, he's a quarterback and receivers, and then also he likes to play pickup basketball, and so do I. So we'd always be playing pickup together.
So what kind of guy was he?
He's a good dude. I mean, does his own thing with his group and talk to football.
Yeah.
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 What do you think about him going to Ole Miss?
So everyone talks about how it's a crowded quarterback room, and are kind of dogging him for it. I mean, I will say the thing is, if you do believe in yourself, you're not going to care about, because in the NFL, it's going to be the same thing. Every quarterback in the room is going to be
Right.
a star quarterback. So you believe you're going to make it to the NFL, you already shown star quarterback room.
Yeah, I haven't heard anyone say that. I've just heard people dogging on him
Yeah.
for going, but
Yeah.
as I probably have been. in the
I am
past as well.
I am surprised. I don't know why he left. I don't know what happened all there, but if he is going to leave and everyone's dogging for picking Ole Miss, I was like, if he believes in himself, I mean, it don't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it surprised everybody.
What was the
especially
other
when
one?
he
Auburn?
left. Auburn was the other one
Yeah.
that he was considering. Yeah,
I
At least that
heard
was-
Notre Dame thrown around in there a little bit too, but
Yeah, but I think it was a big surprise just to most of us because he spent his entire career here and seemed loyal and true.
let me tell him the story. So I was at Eskimo Joe's. So Johnny and I are roommates.
Oh, Williamson?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're at Eskimo Joe's, and I'm looking up at this TV, and it's got a picture of Spencer Sanders on it, and it says loyal and true. And this is like 2-3 weeks after he entered the portal. And we go down into the shop, and they've got they made some T-shirts, I guess. All his T-shirts were on the clearance rack. They were like $3 a piece.
I don't know what to say about that.
What
We
do you
didn't either.
What do you think about the quarterback room now at OSU? Because you've got Bowman coming in from Michigan. You've got Rangel still,
Zane Flores.
from Nebraska. Gundy still. What's your take on all that?
That may be one of the only position rooms that I don't really. The only one I really know is Gunner, and I thought Garrett and him would be battling it out. I haven't seen enough of the. You said from Michigan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was
Al-
he second
Alan
string or
Bowman?
starter?
He was a backup to I think he was the third string.
Yeah,
actually.
third string, I think.
Because he was the third string quarterback there, but he played at Texas Tech for a long time, and I think he also played somewhere in between Tech and Michigan.
This is 5th year, right?
Yeah, this is
Okay.
I think it's his 6th year actually.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is on that, but I know he's had a lot of years.
I may have to be back on the podcast because I don't know enough about these quarterbacks to make a comment on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think of Gunner? You said you know Gunner.
Oh, he's a good dude. I played him in ping pong a lot, so I was.
Oh, no. Okay, here we go. Now I wish we were doing this at the house.
Yeah,
So when we
exactly.
started the podcast, whenever we would have a guest on, I love ping pong. I got a ping pong table in the garage, so I'd always play the guests after.
Yeah.
But to the Gunner thing, we got Gunner's phone number through some mutual friends, and of course I reached out, wanted to get him on the podcast, and I've been ghosted for a couple months now from Gunner.
But no,
So maybe
think
if
I
you
would-
comment on ping pong.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Gunner, if you're watching this, ping pong and the podcast.
He's pretty good.
I even say Gabe Simpson told us that
Yeah. Just start
You were
name dropping
good.
Gabe.
just start dropping names. That's the only way we can get anywhere. But yeah, that's pretty funny.
What are the odds of that? What kind of other? Are you into like golf? Anything like that? Other sports like that, or?
Well, clearly I can't. So not having this organized football schedule in my life, it was pretty weird at first. So I've gotten into jiu-jitsu, Brazilian
Really?
jiu-jitsu.
Okay. I was going to bring that up as well. I actually had karate on the list, but
This guy.
Yeah, it is
So
not the same.
it's not even close.
Not the same.
So being studying jiu-jitsu, do you watch like a lot of UFC stuff like that?
I mostly watch technique.
Just
Because I never wrestled or had any type of, like if you wrestle and you go into jiu-jitsu, you already have like understanding how to grab people.
Yeah.
And I never did that. I only did football, basketball, and baseball, so it's different. So I study about how to move my body correctly and stuff in it.
would you say jiu-jitsu is a lot harder or not as hard as the other sports that you've played? At least preparing for, I don't know, they call it rolls, right? Whenever you
Yeah.
are grappling.
So I will say mentally, it depends on the day of if it's hard or not. Because it's not like football where you could be having an off day and kind of you can lean on your buddy. Like we're in the trenches together, so we're leaning on each other. It's you and another guy.
Yeah.
You're having a bad day. You're getting tapped out by yeah, you're having a rough day.
Yeah.
so jiu-jitsu is, I would say, much more intense than.
Yeah.
Not only different, but much more intense than karate, for example. Like
So I see like maybe not karate, but I see like
I don't know.
like taekwondo
Yeah. Okay.
competitions where
Yeah.
they do strike each other, but then they stop after one. I'm not sure I understand that because it's like jiu-jitsu. You could have me dead to rights and I slip out next thing you know I win.
Yeah.
Not. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but as a
So what's the training like for that? I know it's got to be pretty intense.
like I said, I never grappled. So
Yeah.
I've been doing it for a couple months, so I'm getting better at it. But those first few months, I was so sore in places I've never really used.
Yeah.
Like you're using your legs to like hold on to people and all these funky positions it is rough at first. Like you're just
Yeah.
So is there like I saw a picture of you. Is there like I keep coming back to karate here, but you know how you get different belts?
Yeah.
Like, is there like a process like that similar? Or?
Yeah, I'm now a 2-stripe white belt. White is like, newbies.
Okay.
New guys. So I'm a 2-stripe white. You get up to 4 stripes per color.
Uh-huh.
And there's blue, purple, brown, and black.
Oh.
Okay.
So is it just when they think you're ready to move up?
Yeah,
or
it's
is
all
it?
up to your professor.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Because, like, they make jokes about it. Some people, they slow play it, so they're winning competitions. And they said some people go up way too fast because they're professor. But yeah, it's completely up to your black belt. Because if he gave me a black belt today, I'd be a black belt under him. So if
I
I'm
see.
getting whooped by everyone, it makes him look bad.
So do you like compete with people in similar?
My first one's gonna be in March.
Okay.
Really? Where do they have these competitions at?
So there's 2 organizations. I'm still new to it, so I think it's IBJJF, and then there's another one. The one in Oklahoma City, I think, is the AGF. American Grappling Federation, something like that.
Mhm.
So, yep, that's going to be my first tournament, and you can roll with any weight. So, tournaments, it's like your weight class, but then you can do an absolute. It could be 250 versus the smallest weight class.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. It's a whole new world I've never been into.
Yeah.
Never been able to wrestle because of basketball, so it's fun. Pretty fun.
That is pretty awesome.
So what else you got going on outside of jiu-jitsu?
I'm currently teaching at Piedmont for this year, maybe next year. I'm hoping to take the MCAT. So I was originally med school, high school, and I flipped to dental, thinking that was what I wanted to do. And as I started applying, and I was getting towards, really putting both feet through that door, I was like, I don't think because what I want to be, hopefully one day, is like either a team doctor or either neuro, one of those two.
Huh. That's really cool. Do you want to be a team physician for like a collegiate team or
Yeah, that'd be
NFL?
if I go like the orthopedic route, and yeah, that'd be the best thing, staying around athletes.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you have a certain school or organization you want?
I mean,
OSU.
If I could, I'd
Yeah.
stay go Pokes.
all day.
Speaking of pokes, back to
Back to the questions.
who are some of your favorite guys on the team, like as far as just hanging out or as teammates?
Currently or like previously?
Either.
Both.
So, some of my best friends are like Gabe Lemons, Logan Carter. Logan's actually in the XFL currently.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's currently trying to pursue football in the XFL. Buddy Gabe Lemons, who transferred, Shepard, those were all my roommates. Then you got like Bryce Bayless. I was pretty close with a big group, but it was just like, some of them were seniors, so like in and out, new guys coming in. I mean, I love all the guys on the team. There wasn't really anyone that had hard, it may get chippy
Yeah.
practice, but it's,
Exactly.
So can you walk us through like a game day or just the whole, like, everything leading up to it just.
So, talking about like beginning of the week.
Yeah.
So, we have we'll say we just got done with the game. Sunday, we have our recovery, run and lift, and film. Monday, we have off. So that's like our rest day. And then Tuesday, we go full pads. Wednesdays, and then when I first got here, it was still full pads, and then it kind of worked down to only upper half pads. So like we wouldn't have our girdle and stuff on. And then Thursday would be practice. Friday was a walkthrough.
What time did those days start?
So Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, you have 3 lift groups. Most of the time I would try to lift in the first one, so 6:30 was the first lift
Okay,
group.
so you could pick your time?
So the freshmen have to lift to that early one, and then after that you can kind of pick.
Okay.
You can pick down, not up. Like
Right.
you can't go later, but you can go earlier than your time.
Okay.
And then you go to class, come back, film, then practice, and then team dinner every evening, which was optional, but of course we're not gonna take free food. Get to Friday, walkthroughs, and then if you're traveling, you go stay in the hotel. You wake up, meetings, film, and then you do the walk. After that, it's just everything they see on the field.
Nice.
Getting ready,
Yeah.
same old, put your headphones on, listen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I came last year. I'm trying to think of what game it was. Johnny pointed you out to me down there. It was Kansas, maybe?
KU.
Homecoming?
Yeah.
Was it homecoming? Okay, yeah. And then you guys, your last bowl game would have been Fiesta Bowl?
Notre Dame.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember it was like his brother was telling me, he's like, yeah, Gabe's getting a PS5 or something like that. There was something.
Yeah, that's probably the best bowl gift.
That's when you still couldn't get a PS5.
Yeah, that's when they're like, because we had quite a few meetings about you cannot sell these.
Really?
You're not allowed to sell bowl gifts.
Huh.
But they're like, you cannot sell these. Yeah, there was a lot of meetings over that.
That's pretty cool.
So did the team dinners, does that take place in the stadium or is that somewhere else? Or
Yeah, so we have team dinner the night before, which is like we have to dress up for. But yeah, every morning and evening we have meals up in the stadium.
They should have Bad Brad's cater one of those meals.
Sure they would.
Have you ever been to Gundy's house?
I have not, no.
Okay. He lives just down the road from us. I think we're just gonna have to sneak in there one night.
It's kind of funny because Rhett has, but Mike Gundy doesn't know about it. Just kidding, Mike. We did not sneak onto your property.
Yeah, you're gonna get trespassing charges.
Johnny told me actually he went to Edmond or something yesterday for some wrestling stuff, and he said he was trying to like spit out the window or something. He had his sunglasses on his head. They flew out. He said he just pulled in the next driveway that he saw. He wasn't paying attention. He got out. And when he got back in his truck, he looked up and realized he was in Gundy's driveway.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
Over here trying to interrupt me. So you mentioned that you have headphones in, like whenever you're warming up for games and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well,
So what kind of music are you interested in? Like what are your like favorite genres? What are your favorite artists? Like what do you like?
Pre-game it's always just rock and rap.
Nice.
But
Get pumped up.
Yeah, but I like country. I like pretty much anything.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not like classical, but anything else probably. But I mean, there's a few classical I listen to just because they're the famous ones.
Yeah. So something to be thinking about. Every week we do a playlist with like our top 5 songs of the week, and then our guest top 5 songs of the week also, and we post on Spotify, Apple Music for anybody to go listen to. So be thinking about your top 5, and then at the end of the podcast we'll get those from you.
Do you have did any of the guys on the team ever go to Tumbleweed?
Oh yeah, lots of them.
Really?
Calf Fry?
Yeah.
So I was there. So my freshman year was like the last time you had the big tailgate, like they had it in that field across the road from it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was till that kind of got shut down. Someone got hit in the eye with a beer can. It wasn't very funny. It was pretty.
Yeah. So we're hoping to. I work out at Tumbleweed. I don't know if you knew that or not, but
I did.
He's the country DJ. He never came up with a DJ name. We were talking about this the other day.
Yeah, they made this graphic thing like to post, and he's like, "What's your DJ name?" He's like, "I don't know, just Rhett, I guess."
It says country DJ, and it says Rhett at the bottom of it. I'm like, that's so lame.
Anyway, we're hoping to. I think we can say this. We're hoping to announce Calf Fry, the lineup. And we're trying to get permission to do that and everything on here. But who are some artists that would, that genre of music, like that you would like to see or are just a fan of, anything like that?
Oh, I mean, some of them probably wouldn't come back, but I was here. I loved Coe, Zach Bryan, Reed Southall. I definitely want all of them. Yeah, I love that. So that's what I was going to ask you. For my 5, is it like, it depends totally if I'm working out or if I'm just sitting around.
It's whatever your top 5 songs of the week are. Whatever you want. Whatever we want to put on there. You can have.
Because Zach Bryan's definitely going to be up there.
Yeah.
Zach Bryan is a dude I want.
That's okay because he's often on mine too. He always gives me crap for having Zach Bryan on there all the time. But,
I have lots of red dirt, so there's a lot of artists.
It doesn't even have to be red dirt. It can be whatever you want it to be. We just kind of do this.
I just referring back to his Calf Fry. I have lots of red dirt people. I like to be there.
Yeah. Jager will sneak on some like rock every now and then, or some kind of like Red Hot Chili Peppers or something.
I spice mine up. It's whatever I'm listening to that week, and yeah.
So, what did you enjoy more, basketball or football? If you could have just picked one, throughout high school, everything.
Just one throughout my whole career, like the only sport I could ever play.
Like if you had to focus on one from middle school to college.
Probably basketball because you can play that a lot longer. Like, people who play pickup basketball sometimes their whole lives compared to flag football leagues aren't too great once you get older.
You want to tell them about our flag football team?
We played the intramural up here, and it was not good.
We won the first game.
The other team didn't show up.
But we still won.
Started out 1-0.
Yeah, we sure did.
I showed up, but then I just kind of realized I wasn't gonna compare to any of these guys out there running.
Yeah,
So I just decided to be the GM.
The GM. So you made the big decisions.
I mean, we won the first game under my watch. So, what's some advice you would give someone that's in high school wanting to? Because we went to the same high school, and it's a small town. You know, it's not a very common thing for someone to come out of a small area like that and be able to go and play at a D1. So what's some advice you would give to someone wanting to do that?
So the thing I'll say is, there's more than you think, probably ability-wise, that Jay has. It's just
Them being seen?
I mean that, but it's also them being kind of people afraid to venture out. Like, even if you want to come back, just don't be afraid to leave.
Yeah.
I've seen people they didn't even want to try. That's the big thing I see from there. But, I mean, as long as you work hard, do right, make sure you get your film out there. I mean, because if you don't get seen, you ain't going to get a chance. But, yeah, just don't be afraid to get out there. Like me, I kind of applied for that I said I got the Bill Gates scholarship. I applied for that because my counselor told me I didn't think I'd get it. Next thing you know, I had a full ride anywhere in the U.S. that wasn't private.
So can you tell us a little bit about that? I don't know much about it really. So what exactly does the Gates Scholarship do?
It's a Gates Foundation scholarship. It's for 300 minority students, like around the U.S. Over 32,000 applied whenever I applied. 300 were selected, and
Over the entire United States?
yeah, there's like
Wow.
5 stages. Like you have essay, interview, all that fun stuff. But yeah, 300 out of 30,000 got picked. Now, I just went to California this summer to talk at the foundation scholarship. They're gonna bump it up to 600, but they have like 50,000 applicants now.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
That's
pretty
crazy. Yeah, that's so you can go anywhere with that?
anywhere public.
Yeah. And so what made you choose OSU?
Football.
Football?
No, I probably would have ended up in Hawaii.
Really?
I mean,
Why not?
Four years in Hawaii, go to college.
He's got a good point. I mean, you might as well.
So were you able to you said you didn't have to try out for the football team?
Now it's preferred walk-on.
Okay, so what does that mean exactly?
Basically, you're just like the scholarship guys without the athletic money.
So they had already seen you and been like,
Yeah,
we would
they
like to have him.
Talked to me, recruited me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I had full academics.
So did you come take a tour, I guess, of the facility and everything? Did you do all that?
Yeah, came, just got on the field, just like everything else.
Just casually?
Me and Brendan Ryan.
Really?
Yeah. Did you know Brendan was here for a semester?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Did you have any other offers from other schools?
I mean, Tulsa talked to me, Incarnate Word a little bit. I had some other like Ivy Leagues were reaching out to me, but OSU was mine. And OU was talking to me about preferred walk-on too, but I was like, OSU gave it to me pretty quick, so I was like, they believe in me, so I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Yeah, I don't know if
Tell
we could.
Trace Ford that.
Hey, that's one of my best friends.
Yeah, watch it, Jagger.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He was my neighbor. Like, we ended up being neighbors. too.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
I
pretty
love
cool.
Trace.
Well, tell him to come on the podcast, and we'll talk to him. We'll hash this thing out. We'll get him back wearing orange.
So
Might be a little late for that.
where did you did you live in a house at one point, or did you live in? You said at one point you had like 4 roommates.
So I came in first year. I lived in like I said, the apartments. I lived with Brendan and 2 other J kids.
Okay.
Well, after the first semester, I was the only one left. So I got 3 random roommates.
Okay.
They were cool guys. I was glad. I was really worried about that. But yeah, I got 3 random roommates. Next semester, I moved in with he was my best friend. We became best friends because his name was Gabe. My name was Gabe.
Oh, okay.
Next thing you know, we were roommates.
Huh.
Yep.
So you lived in the apartments the entire time?
We lived in the athletic apartments, and then we moved to Midtown by the Strip.
Yeah.
And then I moved in a house with my wife.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. I was talking to somebody the other day that was I guess we kind of sort of missed an opportunity to get John Paul Richardson on the podcast because
JP?
I've almost forgot to tell you, I also have a connection with John Paul Richardson that I didn't know until after the podcast the other day.
I discovered I had a friend that could have got him for us on the podcast, but this was after he leaves to TCU. But I guess he lived there too. This person lived there, and that's how they met and everything.
Oh, okay.
So.
Yeah.
It's the ones right behind, there's like the Wendy's right over there by it, right?
Yeah.
It's literally like if you're on the strip, that's the big building you see right next to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you-
Midtown is.
So did you guys walk to the facility, or did you drive?
It depends on the day. Most days I'd walk, but because you know how the parking is around
Yeah.
campus.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's nowhere to park, so most time I actually bought a scooter, electric scooter.
That's a good idea.
If that is one thing I'll say, freshman year, if you buy it, it's worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause I mean, I bought it my junior year, and I still thought it was worth it because it was like $200. It was like $100, and I would have spent that on parking tickets
Oh, yeah.
probably.
That's a good point. So what was your favorite thing about Oklahoma State besides like the athletics? Like just about the school.
I mean, I hate to say it, but it's just different. Like everyone here is nice, country people. You know, it felt more like where we're from than when I was going to visit other places that were more these city people. I don't know. It was just
I
felt more like
completely
home to
understand.
me.
Yeah,
Felt more at home
it
to
felt more homey.
me. Yeah,
And I completely agree with that.
It feels like a
'cause-
big small town.
like
Yeah.
exactly what Stillwater
yeah,
seems like.
That's exactly right. Everybody's friendly, like you said, and yeah, it just feels more like home.
And I like country music, so it helped a lot. Tumbleweed's pretty fun.
Tumbleweed's great. So, we always hear about the Cowboy culture, right?
Yeah.
With the team. Is the Cowboy culture real?
It's like anything else. It's like just like the U.S. dollar, if you believe in it or not.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Overall, is it a good, a positive, usually, environment as far as like,
Yeah, I mean it's who you surround yourself by, but yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, everyone's goal once you hit college football is you're trying to make it to the next one. And that's kind of the same driving force. You're trying to win, fight for your teammates, but you're also trying to make it to the next level. So that's what I liked is everyone's pushing each other. Like the summer when we're running suicides, gut checking each other. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
did you
Go ahead. Yeah.
did you keep any of your gear as far as like jerseys, helmet, anything like that?
Yeah,
Did
so
get to keep?
when you graduate, you can buy your helmets and jerseys. So I have all of them.
Do they give them to you at a discounted price?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, for how
Yeah.
expensive those things are, yeah.
I would hope, but you never know.
So what was your? This might be a hard question because there's so many combinations, but what was your favorite uniform combination? Out of the 30 combinations we've got going on.
So I love the orange helmet with the black cursive cowboy. Like that and the black helmet with the cursive cowboy. Those are my. I would say probably blacked out. Maybe
Okay.
all black with the orange helmet with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Those are nice.
Do you think they should just have a few? Do you think they have too many combinations?
I don't think so. Sometimes the players would be like, we want to wear this, and they're like, no, we already. They pick them beforehand. I think they pick them kind of a few weeks in advance. I'm not sure how that works, but players are always like, can we wear all black out? And they're like, no, we already have it picked.
Wow,
So-
so they have people that pick that.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that. So who actually picks?
Oh, they have equipment managers who are in charge of all that.
Really? So they just get
They're
together.
in charge
and
of
vote, or-
they're in charge of all the combinations, make sure the equipment's working right. Like if it's a cold game, they're sitting there handing out thermals to the players. Yeah, they're there. Those guys are there a lot because they're also helping them practice. They're dragging the bags, making sure they have a script. They're making sure everything's set up, and then they're having to do laundry after. Yeah, they're there a lot. They do get some cool gear.
That's pretty nice.
I would imagine.
They need something for them doing all that.
Yeah, they're there a lot.
No joke. So, what are you teaching? You said you were teaching?
Biology and zoology.
Nice.
And I will say, it's not my career. I have a new respect for teachers.
I can see that.
It is, yeah, I have some respect for them.
So did you go to school to be a teacher? But
No.
I heard you were going to med school or wanted to go to med school.
So I was applying to dental, and I was like, I just didn't think my heart was in it. So, because my original plan was medical, and I had everything planned out. I already had the DAT, and I was like, you know what? So I took this year, taught. Me and my wife both did, and then she got into PA school. So she's going to PA school, starting this summer. I'm gonna take the MCAT this summer and then apply next year for med school.
Where did you go when you got married?
Jamaica.
How was that?
It was amazing. It was just nice to actually get out of the country with our son.
Yeah.
I want to travel. My goal is to work doctor for a while, a bunch of rental properties, and then travel the world.
Yeah.
So that was a good little pre-taste before I start all that.
How did Jamaica come up in the?
Her parents got married there.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't completely random.
No, they that's where they got married to. It was Jamaica.
So what is your degree actually in?
Chemistry.
It's actually in
Chemistry pre-med, yeah.
That's nice. Yeah, I know. Is that harder than regular just chemistry? Like what other classes do you have to take on top with the pre-med?
I mean, organic chemistry was one people hated. I actually liked that one. It was the OChem 1 actually made a lot of sense. That was pretty rough for a lot of people, though. Physical chemistry was pretty rough. I don't know if it's so much the content or just like it was pretty dry. Yeah. When you're in chemistry classes, 5 straight chemistry classes in one semester, it's not too exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty cool if you like actually think about it, but when you're taking those classes, you're like, God.
Where were some of your
Right.
classes at? What buildings?
I mean, the physical science building mostly. During COVID, they opened up the stadium, some of those big rooms, and turned them into classrooms. Yeah, that was pretty weird setup. Whenever COVID happened, you'd have to be 6 feet apart from each student, so classes were.
This lady keeps pulling on the door. I'm gonna have to go.
That's fine. All right, welcome to Bad Brad's Whiskey of the Week. What do you got for us this week, Vernon?
Man, we're going to go with one of my favorites, and it's a whiskey with a lot of history, something, I like. The Old Forester Prohibition Style 1920. It's going to be 115 proof bourbon. So in 1920, I believe it was the Homestead Act, brought in Prohibition, and there were 6 distilleries that were granted the rights to make medicinal whiskey. Old Forester was one of those. It had to be distilled to 100 proof, so once it was aged, it was about 115 proof. So this is their ode to that. If you want to grab me those two, I put them on our flight boards that we have. We just got in this week. They're really, really nice. Those flight boards are. So
They're pretty nice. I do like the way it looks.
This is a really big, deep, bold-bodied whiskey, full-bodied. It's in your face. This is not one that you go and start drinking if you've never drank whiskey. This is not the first one you drink. You build up to something like this so you can really enjoy it. And this is not one we mix with Coke or anything. I'm a big fan of the whole Old Forester series. They released a single barrel last year, and I think it was Oklahoma edition, had a blue label, and it came in really hot at 128.5 proof, I think. It did not drink like that.
Really?
It was so smooth.
Really?
It was the most underrated whiskey last year, I think, because nobody was chasing it. I'm in all the groups and stuff. Nobody was chasing that whiskey. And I was like, yeah, that most underrated new whiskey last year was the single barrel that Old Forester released. They do a birthday bourbon too that I would love to get a hold of.
Really?
It's always pretty cool. I've yet to get to try it, but it's got a pretty cool story too. We can talk about that one day. What do you think about it, Jagger?
I really do enjoy it. Earlier, I tried it it was just straight. I tried it neat earlier, and it was pretty hot whenever I tried it.
This is going to be a hotter, fuller bodied whiskey for sure.
Yes, and just for my taste, I put a few cubes of ice in it, and
That's the way I do mine a lot of times too.
It's really smooth.
My mic's drinking, guys. It's had more whiskey than I have. You're
Hold
good.
on. Maybe we can fix it here in a minute.
Well,
Don't worry, guys. We're live on Facebook. No worries.
It's all right. It's all right.
We'll handle it. I bet
we'll
I
get
can
fixed
hold
here
it
in a
right
minute.
here. It's not a problem.
So, but yeah, with a few cubes of ice for at least my taste, and I mean,
I'll put mine on a rock.
I'm still a new whiskey drinker, so
I've been drinking whiskey a long time, and like I said, I still put mine on a rock. I don't care what people think. Whiskey's meant to be enjoyed however you like to drink your whiskey, guys.
yes. And speaking of that, I watched a documentary you mentioned 2 weeks ago, Neat,
Yes.
on Hulu. Fantastic documentary.
Right?
It was really, really interesting. It broke down like basically from ground to glass
Everything. Yep.
of how they produce whiskey.
Who's the actor that's in there? The guy that's just sitting there kind of
I
narrating.
know who you're
part of
talking
it?
about. Yeah, I cannot think of his name.
I can't either. He plays in Comanche Moon, which is like the second installation of Lonesome Dove.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably the second best Augustus McCrae behind Robert Duvall. Like, does a great job on it.
That's awesome.
But yeah, he's really good in it. There's a lot of really great information in that.
Yeah,
sure.
it was really interesting just about like the entire history of like why it's called bourbon,
Exactly.
why it is what you explained last week, what bottle and bond is.
Yep.
And just everything from start to finish. It's super interesting documentary.
It really is. It's really informative.
Yes, it is.
Man, you're gonna have to come in Wednesday. Yingling will be here on tap.
Ooh.
We'll be here Wednesday. I've been guaranteed for what that's worth.
So, how hard? I've heard it's hard to get Yingling west of the Mississippi. How hard was it to get Yingling?
It's been illegal until February
February?
of this year. Yeah.
So
Anything that has
About,
been
about
in this,
5 days ago?
yeah, anything that's been in the state before then has been bootlegged. So yeah, that still happens, but it's a distribution thing.
Yeah.
They just had to get lined out who was going to distribute it, who had the rights to it, which is just a bidding war.
Yeah.
I mean, those are back alley deals sometimes. I mean, they're all legal, but there's a lot that goes on there. But it will be available all throughout Oklahoma, and there's some places in the city that are getting it tomorrow, and then we're getting it on Wednesday.
Perfect. So we'll be looking forward to that.
They have a Hershey milk. I think it's either a porter or a stout, and I'm really not big on dark heavy beers like that. That thing is delicious. We're gonna have to wait till the fall to try it though, because it's a seasonal.
Dang.
But we'll have several different Yinglings in Wednesday, but on tap will be the Yingling Lager. It's the oldest brewery in America.
Wow.
It's pretty neat.
Where are they stationed out of?
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania?
I can't remember where in Pennsylvania, but
Yeah.
Pennsylvania. Yeah. Rhett, what have you been up to, man? Anything
so
fun?
I did a little homework that you assigned to me.
Good.
I went and watched the Dean Dillon story.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
Right?
It really was. It was really good.
Freaking awesome.
I was just scrolling through Amazon. It was like 2 in the morning. I was like, oh, I know what I need to watch. And I watched it, and it was really good.
Yes.
And now I've been listening to all those songs that they.
You're like, crap, I didn't know he wrote that.
What I thought was weird was they didn't really talk about Tennessee whiskey much.
No,
And, it was
because
really focused more on.
that song kind of speaks for itself, though. Like I said, 3 different people have just completely owned that song and made a career off of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's kind of amazing. But it's so underrated, everything he wrote. Like, when you look at that list,
Yeah, it was
nuts.
really good. I was really
Yeah.
shocked at how good it was.
Yeah.
It kept me like the 80 minutes it was or whatever
Yeah.
went by like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was nuts.
it was so cool that when I got to watch it, he was in Paris, Texas 2 weeks later. And we went down there for $25 a person and got to see him and Red Shahan. That was
Now
Freaking
when you were
awesome.
telling the story, it sounded neat. But now
Yeah.
that I like have the little bit backstory and stuff, it's like, yeah.
And he's just as real and genuine. He's just a guy that likes to, hang out and play guitar and used to like to do a little rowdier stuff.
Yeah, and that even comes across in the documentary
Yeah,
too. It's
for
pretty,
sure.
It's pretty interesting.
What was your favorite part about the Neat documentary?
So it was one of the like first lines in the documentary, but they're sitting around and they're like, whiskey's supposed to be enjoyed with, or an aged whiskey is only supposed to be enjoyed with friends whenever you don't have anywhere to go.
Exactly.
And I thought, like, that's perfect. I heard you mention that the other day too, but even like then it was like,
Sit
that's
back,
awesome.
enjoy it, have some fun,
Yeah.
make memories, man. That's the best thing about a bottle of whiskey is making good memories with it.
What was your favorite part about the documentary?
Man, well, like that line really stuck with me when he was talking about his dad and his brother, and he's about that bottle of Pappy, and he's
Yeah.
like, he was going to cork it, and that changed his whole outlook on whiskey, and it changed mine a little bit. It's like, hey, I've had plenty of good times with and without whiskey, obviously, but like when you're drinking a good bottle of whiskey with good people and having a good time, it's pretty dadgum hard to beat.
Yep, exactly.
Especially if you can sit around a fire or on the front porch and just hang out and enjoy it.
Yeah.
I was gonna watch the Neat documentary right after that one because I was on a roll then.
Yeah.
But I looked it up on Amazon and it wasn't. You had to pay for it. So I was trying to figure out where it was, but you just said Hulu,
Yeah,
so
it's on.
Was
I'll
it?
have to look. Yeah, I'll watch that
remember
this
where
week.
I watched it.
Next week I'll be able to talk about that
It
one.
was good, man. It was really good.
It's a really interesting documentary.
So a local lady made our flight boards set a little, and those are going to be available for retail. I think they're going to retail for like $60. You can get those here at Bad Brad's.
Nice.
They just started. I got them in Friday, and we've already been using the crap out of them for flights. So what we're doing, instead of doing a set flight of whiskey, pick any 3 that we have out of the 170 plus whiskeys. And all of our prices are for 2-ounce pours. We'll do 1-ounce pours in these. So we're just going to make it really simple, guys. We're going to, whatever the 2-ounce cost is, we're going to cut it in half, pour you an ounce of each, and try it out. Booker's has been really popular, though. I think I've sold 3 different Booker flights between Friday night and Saturday. We sold 3 different Booker flights.
Wow.
So to completely different people.
Yeah. That's pretty
So
awesome.
they're already getting used pretty hard here.
Yeah.
I got a question for you.
Yeah, buddy.
So I was looking at some stuff about when I was looking for the Neat documentary, all this, and I saw that everywhere's shots are a little different. Like some are 1.5 ounces, some are 2 ounces.
Yeah, it's just a
So-
preference.
Okay. But here,
Here we do, so how we do that, excuse me, if you get a pour neat or if you get a mixed drink and it's a single, it's a 2-ounce pour. I price my whiskey, there's about 25 ounces in a 750, so there's 12 pours roughly plus an ounce. And what we end up doing is we just keep that at the cheapest I can sell it and still make money. Like our Blantons, for example, I know there's a place in town selling it between $30 and $35 a pour, and they're 1.5-ounce pours, and we sell it $15 for 2 ounces, and I'm not losing money on that at all. Like that, it's not that pour. I believe Old Forester is going to be $16 to $18 somewhere around in there for 2 ounces. I'm not losing money on that, and there's people that are going to charge really high for it. There's a place in town that charges $35 for a pour Weller 12, and I charge $10 for Weller 12. And then, like I said, we're not losing money on it. I want people to be able to enjoy the whiskey, and be able to afford it and not say, oh man, this whiskey that I barely had, I'm going to have to spend half my paycheck for, or, I make $10 an hour. I'm going to have to spend 4 hours worth of labor on that whiskey. Unless it's really expensive, you're not going to have to do that here.
Right.
You're going to get it at as fair a price as I can offer it.
awesome.
Well, Yingling coming Wednesday.
Yep.
Old Forester Whiskey of the Week.
Absolutely.
16 ounce of pour, and you can even get a flight.
Yep, we can do a flight. I've got several Old Foresters, so we can do a full Old Forester flight. I've got, I think, 4 or 5 different. I know I have I know I have at least 4 different Old Foresters in at the moment. I might have 5. And from their baseline whiskey all the way up to the 1920, it's good whiskey throughout. They're one of the more solid lineups in the business, I think.
Yeah.
Cornhole Monday, we just had to clean the room out. We rented it out twice last week. We've been doing a lot of catering in that room, a lot of rent outs, so that's been going well. What do we got? What do we got next week? Who do we play next week, Saturday? Basketball. We play
Basketball. I do not know.
The TCU game was awesome
idea.
yesterday.
Yeah.
I know that.
Who do you have playing Friday night?
Friday night, we did Lemon Barnett this weekend. Dylan Moss,
Dylan Moss. Ooh.
local boy. Dylan Moss
Yep.
of the Johnny Thomas Band.
Yep.
I believe y'all have interviewed him.
Yes, we have.
That sorry dog got to spend some time in warmer weather down there in Key West.
Yeah, he did.
At mile 0.
Yeah. And they just got done playing Battle of the Bands last night.
How did they do? I didn't get to see it.
They did not come away with a win.
Really?
Yeah.
Iowa State next Saturday,
Iowa State. That'll be a great game. What time is that?
5 p.m.
Nice. We'll get a before and an after crowd. That's what we did this past weekend, Saturday. We got a before crowd. We were busy. We got an after crowd, and we were slammed afterwards. It's what happens when you win in Gallagher, Iowa.
Yes.
But yeah, we'll have to get out here Friday and maybe
Yeah.
talk to.
Come on, man. Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely need to come out here.
Absolutely. We can set up over in the other room if we need to. Just, help out on the acoustics or whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
Get it figured out. Well, guys, if y'all don't have anything else for me, I've been coyote hunting today, and I'm going to go out and go do some more coyote hunting before dark.
Go right
So,
ahead.
y'all have fun, guys. We'll see y'all.
All right, thank
We'll
you.
see you.
See, Jagger and I are distantly related.
But I'm sure
So-
everyone believes that from how close we look like.
Yeah, we do look so similar. So in a way, we're all 3 distantly related.
I guess you could say that.
But that's what you hear about most of that area up there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
true.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, do you have some music for us?
Oh. Yeah.
Are you a Spotify or an Apple Music guy?
I'm an Apple Music guy.
There we go. That might be the first one we've had.
Gosh.
It's already set up for the phone. It's just
Yeah, it just works better.
I didn't know I was supposed to be like thinking of songs just off of my head.
So what I usually do, I just go to my recently added, and I'll start throwing songs on from that. Let's see here. Where's it at? Playlist. Here we are.
By the way, you can find this playlist anywhere you can find the podcast as well, at least on Apple Music and Spotify, under GC and HM Weekly Playlist.
Okay, I'm ready. Whoever wants to go first.
We have Mr. Gabe here go first.
I was hoping to go last.
Well,
I'll
one
go
of us
first.
can
I'll go first. Let's see. Ignore that text, Jagger. That's just for my future reference. All right. I'm just going to go, since unfortunately the Johnny Thomas Band did not win Battle of the Bands last night. But they did release their new song, Took My
Yes.
Fire, which we had on the podcast earlier
So you guys already know the
as
song.
an exclusive song, pre-release.
Exclusive release from the Johnny Thomas.
We're going to throw that one on there. Then I'm going to throw on 2 Steelwood songs. It's just
This song has been on the playlist.
I'm not going to
You're
put this
even-
one on.
Oh wow.
I'm going to put Jagger thought I was going to put Better in the Fall on. I'm going to put on Straw in the Wind and Let the Rain Come Down. Then I'm going to throw on a George Strait song for you, Jagger, just for you. If you ain't lovin', you ain't livin'. Throwing that one on. And for the 5th and final one, Today I've Started Loving You Again, Merle Haggard. Been listening to that recently. So there's my 5.
Okay, if you ain't loving, you ain't living, and then what's after that?
Today I've Started Loving You Again, Merle Haggard.
Okay, gotcha. Would you like me to go next? You go last?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. All right. First one has been my favorite song of this week by far. Annabelle by 49 Winchester. I just love that song. Have you heard that?
No.
You will this week.
I always listen to the playlist throughout the week while I'm doing homework or whatever, so I'll be hearing that later in the week. We also need to talk about Hardy again because I got some people reaching out to me about how harsh I was on his album.
Okay, so number 2 is a band that is going to be playing here at the Tumbleweed, I think in a month or two. Treaty Oak Revival. It's Missed Call.
Can we just go ahead and say that we're going to have him on the podcast?
I hope.
Who?
Treaty Oak Revival?
Treaty Oak Revival. I seriously hope. Treaty Oak, if you hear this, please come on our podcast.
I think we
Just check
will.
your email. You'll see an email from me.
I think we will, Jagger.
I believe in it, dude. I believe in it. Let me go down here. I have some marked that I needed to put on here. Here's an awesome one. It's called, and I know you won't, you're going to give me a weird look when I say it. It's called Frogman by Whiskey Myers.
Okay.
Have you heard that?
No.
That's a good one.
It's a good song. It's about Navy SEALs. That's why it's called Frogman.
Okay.
You just want it, Red. And then last one, I'm gonna go.
That's when we start calling you Frogman.
Please do. Oh, DJ name.
Frogman.
DJ Frogman. Yes. Classic. 303 by Red Shahan.
What is it?
303.
Oh.
I know you've heard that one. I know you've heard it.
I don't know if I have. I will this
I
week,
guarantee
though.
you've played it.
Yeah, probably so.
That's my 5, I think.
Now you got one more.
Oh, I got one more?
Uh-huh.
Dadgum. Let me, let's go. I wasn't even expecting this. Let's go with a Shane Smith song.
Okay.
Shane Smith and the Saints. And I'm going to go Dance the Night Away by Shane Smith and the Saints. That's one you should play at the Tumbleweed right there. That's a great 2-step song.
Now we
right
play
there.
it.
Yeah. He's like, gosh, I got to hear this again.
My turn, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All you.
So,
No
first,
pressure.
we're going to go The Pretender by Foo Fighters.
That's a good song.
Who was putting Foo Fighters on the other day? We've had someone else put them on.
Matt?
Maybe it'd been Matt.
I'm
Yeah.
going to be a little bit all over the place. Intro by Meek Mill.
Okay.
Because I don't know if we're talking about my work.
Everything.
There's the workout
It-
music, Gabe. and then
Anything
there's-
you want, man.
casual.
Anything you want.
And then let me find the other one. Cole by Tyler Childers.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a deep cut right there.
Jagger's quite the Tyler Childers enthusiast. So.
So the words are a little rough in this one, but the beat is awesome if you're listening. Powered by MDG.
Okay.
And then,
Got it?
And then I gotta get my good old dude Zach Bryan from Ooligaw, who Jay plays. So I know where Ooligaw is. Been there many times for sports. And then which one of his do I want? Let's do Oklahoma Smoke Show, just because Oklahoma, baby.
All right. Perfect. You want to see the list, Jagger?
We got behind.
So it's gonna be a little bit all over the place on those 5.
That might be the most variety we've had.
Yeah,
in it.
that's
But
that. Honestly,
good.
that's a good thing.
Let's see. Yeah, there they are.
Got it. Oh, I didn't put Dawn's on there. I was gonna put Dawn's, the new Zach Bryan song.
Yeah, I almost put that one.
Yeah. It's
I haven't
pretty good.
listened to it
It's
yet.
pretty
I-
good. I like it.
I forgot what it was. I haven't listened to it. I think
Is that the one
once.
with the like orchestra and stuff, or is that something different?
No, it doesn't have orchestra.
Okay. Are you a Hardy fan? Before we.
A few.
Okay. What about the new album specifically? You heard any
When
of
did
it?
it drop? Probably haven't heard it then.
Not that long ago.
Yeah,
Week and a
I
half,
haven't
2
heard-
weeks.
I haven't heard it
January,
then.
yeah.
Okay. So last week I was talking some disapproval about the new album.
He was trashing the
And I had a few people reach out, and they were like, "You got to give it a shot." So I'm here to apologize. No, not apologizing. I still hate it. I listened to a couple more songs, and it's even worse than I thought it was originally. So that's my take on that.
I love the flip there. You're like, I'm here because
Yeah,
I actually.
I don't
no,
know if I
hate
can
it.
get some of his songs. I'm just like, what? then there's a few that I'm like,
It's like country, and then halfway through it switches to like heavy metal. Like right in the, it's very unpleasant.
Yeah.
No.
I don't enjoy it either.
well, isn't that what Co Wetzel pretty much is? Country and rock?
It's
This
not.
is-
It's not. It's
this
not
is
like
like
that.
Oh,
Head metal.
It's
the
like
crazy.
new one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like actual like screamo.
Yeah. Here, let me just. It's still here from last
Yeah.
week. Let me just.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Wait,
I
have
think
y'all
people-
heard the? So, who is it? Co Wetzel just made a song with what rapper is that? Kodak Black.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't heard it, but I saw it.
You know, I was listening to that as like, this is gonna be horrible, and I don't think it's that bad. I need to re-listen to it.
I don't know that I've listened to it yet.
I haven't listened to it either.
It's
I
actually
was-
better than I thought it would
I was
be.
actually kind of afraid I was going to listen to it and then lose respect for Co Wetzel, so that's why I was
I
avoiding
I was very worried about that too, but I
So
I
here's
was
the.
halfway listening to it, but I need to. I think it's not that bad.
So here's the.
I'm also just not a big fan of pop country that much.
I'm not either. But
That's why I was disapproving of the new album. So
That is that might be the embodiment of a stretch.
yeah, that's.
He's just kind of reaching. Heavy metal?
Yeah, I don't know about that. How you feel about Ian Munsick?
Don't know if I've heard him.
Really?
really,
What's the?
You might be putting me on this guy.
Horses Are Faster.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Horses
I
Are Faster.
love that song.
That's the main song.
He's coming to Tumbleweed in March, I think.
You need to
You
check
gonna
out.
you gonna score me some tickets?
Maybe we can make that happen.
Get up here, play a round of golf with us or something, and play some. ping
Have you ever
pong
played
with
golf?
Yeah, I'm not bad. My short game's actually decent,
Okay.
but I have to. So I can drive pretty well, but my club is about pointing straight at the ball because I have such a bad slice from baseball.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So I just turn the club to correct it.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I kind of.
That's what I do. I think that's the worst thing you can do, but that's what I have to do.
It's like I'm sure people are cringing because
I do the same things.
but I hit it straight.
Do you play often or?
No,
No.
I go jujitsu every evening and that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an expensive hobby. Golf is.
Yeah.
I really enjoy doing it, but it's.
I need to find some like used clubs because I don't need to buy new ones. I'm not good enough to buy new ones.
That's what I said, and then
You
I
bought some
bought
new
new
ones.
clubs, and it didn't help my game any.
So exactly, I need to have something already broken.
Yeah, we Kobe, Six Killer, and I went over to Golf USA one time, and he's always been I don't know if I told you this story or not, but he's always been a Titleist fan. And we were in there, and he was going to
Yeah,
get
yeah,
fit
told
for
me.
a set of clubs. And it's just such a popular place. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm breaking that door down.
Went over there to get a club fitting, and so he's trying all these like Titleist irons, telling the guy this is kind of what he wants. And they bring out this Callaway set of irons, and they're like, "Why don't you try these?" And Kobe turned around, looked at me. I could just tell. He's like, "Please, don't let it be these. Don't let these be the clubs." And he hits them, and the guy's like, "Yeah, that's exactly what you need right there." Left that day with a set of Callaway clubs. He said he played with Bryson DeChambeau's cousin the other day. Did I tell you
Yeah,
that?
you did tell me that. I think that's crazy.
So, one of my best friends that I met at Oklahoma State through Garrett Sweeney from Jay.
Uh-huh.
His name's Mike. Well, his now fiance's. Okay, it's like it's our fiance's uncle. His fiance's uncle plays with Toby Keith like all the time at Shangri-La,
Really?
at Grove.
Really hoping he was gonna say. He said it was. His name was gonna be Victor, and you were like, "Oh, it's Victor Hovland."
I was thinking Taylor Gooch, but yeah.
But yeah, I don't have anything else.
Anything else you want to add before we wrap it up?
No, thank you for having me on.
We really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thank
It's
you so
been
much.
a few weeks trying to make all this happen, but
Yeah.
glad we finally got it happening.
Yeah.
So
Well, thank you for coming on. Rhett, you want to cue us out real quick?
let's do it.